Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Connect with I know. Today is the part 2 of our singleness series. I hope we were able to learn from part 1, about all the misconceptions about singleness. People feel like singleness is loneliness. People feel like singleness is a period of isolation, but it is not so. I don't know it's going to be defining what exactly is loneliness, what exactly is the difference between loneliness and singleness, so that we can understand that you being lonely is not an excuse for you to be in a relationship. Loneliness is something that comes from within. It happens to every individual at one stage or the other in their lives. So you cannot say because you are lonely and you enter a relationship. So I'm going to be defining and giving us the root causes of loneliness, how you can overcome it in relationship. You should be in a relationship because of partnership. You should be in a relationship because you want to build life together with someone, because you know that you are compatible in terms of character, integrity. So many things are involved when it comes to choosing a suitable partner. So let's get right into it so that we can understand the depth of what loneliness truly is and how you can overcome it, especially when you are in a relationship or you're not in a relationship. Like I said, loneliness happens to everybody regardless of your relationship status. So let's get right into it. As a society, we equate being single with being lonely. But is it true? Is it really accurate? Can you be single and still be happy? Can you be single and still be fulfilled? Can you be single and still fulfill your destiny? Can you be single and still fulfill your purpose? So that is what we want to get right into today's episode of Connect with Eleanor. I know many people will say, okay, is Eleanor trying to tell us that we should remain single? No, nobody is expected to remain single for life. Although some people decide that they do not want to get married, it's very important that once you maximize your singleness and it is time for you to move to the next stage of your life, you will not have any regrets. Why Eleanor has decided to do this series on singleness, so that we can understand that while we are waiting for that person, while we're waiting towards marriage, while we're being in that courtship towards marriage, we will not feel like, we will not let loneliness push us into doing things that we are not supposed to do. That period will be a period that is maximized properly. Now, singleness is a lifestyle characterized by independence, self-sufficiency, and freedom. It is a chance to focus on your personal growth. It's a time to pursue your passion. It's a time to build meaningful relationships outside of romance. Singleness fosters self-awareness, self-discovery, empowerment. It's a season where you can focus on developing yourself, working on your self-esteem, working on your career. Let's get right into what exactly loneliness is. Loneliness is a complex emotion. It is a complex state that is characterized by feeling of isolation, disconnection, and emptiness. It is a universal experience that can affect anybody. Most of the time, people that tell themselves that they are lonely, they feel this void inside them. They do not know how to feel it. So they mostly go into addictions, alcohol, sex, so many things to fill that void inside them. But they do not know that that is not the solution. Now, what causes loneliness? A lot of things causes loneliness. We have trauma, we have social isolation, relationship loss or breakup, people that are introverts, mostly people that they are shy to associate with others, social anxiety, mental health, and major life changes. Things in our life causes us to be lonely. There are some people that they are so much used to their single life and all like that, and once they get married, they still feel lonely despite the fact that they are with their partner. So being with someone doesn't cure you of loneliness. Being in a marriage, being in a relationship doesn't cure that loneliness. It's something that you need to work on your own. By working on your purpose, by empowering yourself, by filling yourself with hobbies, traveling around, having your own mini adventures. It doesn't have to be something expensive. To friends, relating with people, communicating with people. Those are the things that will fill the void that is inside your heart. Working on your relationship with God, serving Him faithfully whichever field you are. Now, loneliness can affect our mental state and it can affect our physical being. That guy that I spoke to, and He was expressing himself that, okay, he's lonely, he doesn't have anybody around him. And because of that, he sleeps around. It feels like sex is something that will cure that loneliness, but it is not. Once you are secure in yourself, you understand what God has sent you to do on this earth, which is your purpose. You focus on it. You focus on your self-care. You focus on self-development, self-empowerment. You will not be lonely. Once you work on your relationship with God, you occupy yourself with things that you love. Eventually, you will outgrow that loneliness. Like I said, loneliness is a universal thing. It happens to people. We see so many celebrities that have it all and yet they are lonely. So now people will now be like, you have everything. So why are you still lonely? It is something that happens to every human being. And it is something that we need to work on by ourselves. But I want to give us the differences between singleness and loneliness. It is very, very different. So the first difference between singleness and loneliness is this: choice versus circumstance. Singleness is a choice. People decide to be single. So people might decide that, okay, I don't want to be single for long, and they decide to entangle themselves with someone and get married. Everybody has their own choice. While loneliness is the circumstance. So many things causes us to be lonely, like I said. There are so many people that have it all and yet they are lonely. So loneliness is a circumstance, is a state. It's something that is not certain. It's something that happens when, there is a major life change. Maybe you change of environment, you're shy, you don't know how to associate with people, you feel isolated. So it is something that comes from within. And like I said, filling those void with addictions, with alcohol, with sex, will not cure that void that is inside of you. For someone like me, there was a point in my life where I felt that void inside me. I felt so isolated, even though I was surrounded by so many people. The cure, what I used as my own personal therapy, was that I worked on my spiritual life. I tightened my relationship with God. I studied the Word of God. I communicated with God because I felt like God was the only one that understood what was exactly going on with me. God was the only one that understood what was inside of me. Those of us that are not Christians, I would advise you to try Christ Jesus. He has made a major difference in my life and that of the life of countless of others. So I would suggest that you try him. I'm not going to force Christ on you, but I believe that he is the solution to so many issues that we have. So me working on my relationship with God, talking to Jesus, so many things, praying, interceding for others, those were the things that filled that void inside of me. Just being in God's presence, soaking in the music and in the worship section, those were the things that filled the void inside of me. But I believe that if you can try my own method, you will surely have, something to say that is a key difference. For so many people that have given this advice, they keep telling me that they are lonely. I always tell them that they should go back to their secret place. And for people that don't understand what secret place is, it is a place where you encounter God, where you alone and your Savior are alone. It is where He fills the void in your heart. It gives you purpose, gives you definition, gives you identity, where you do not have to feel less of yourself. So the second difference between loneliness and singleness is that singleness is positive, while loneliness has so many negative emotions filled with it. The emotional tone of singleness is different from the emotional tone of loneliness. Loneliness is marked by negative emotions. When you're lonely, you're sad, you're feeling depressed, you're telling yourself that I'm alone, I don't have anybody, nobody understands me. The truth is, you're not lying. Not everybody will understand you. In fact, people are not supposed to understand you. Your husband is not supposed to understand you. Your boyfriend is not supposed to understand you. There is only one person that knows the depth of your heart, which is God. I know some people will say, oh my God, is Ellie not trying to preach to us? Yes, I'm trying to preach to you because I'm a Christian and I know how far God has brought me. I know how He has changed my life. So as much as Connect with Eleanor is a platform where we talk about real life issues, I give you real solutions. I want you to understand that God is the depth of all these things. He is the foundation. Giving your life to Christ is the foundation that you can build on all these principles. I did a particular episode on Connect with Eleanor, and this person was like, Eleanor, I tried everything that you said, and it's like it's not working. I told the person, I said, it's not like it's not working. You know, every word of advice that I give you on Connect with Eleanor is just like a seed that needs to grow in your heart. Every word on Connect with Eleanor is just like a seed. But if the soil of your heart is not a fertile one, if it is not a loamy soil, you don't expect it to grow. And what will make your heart a loamy soil where every good seed, every principle of God, every principle that I've given you on this episode will work is if you have Christ as your foundation. It is very important. As much as principles are important, working towards your goals, your calling, every single thing about purpose is very important. The Bible itself said prayer without works is dead. That means that God understands the value of hard work and the value of principle as well. But without Christ as your foundation, everything you're building on it will surely crumble. That is why it is advisable for you to give your life to Christ as you're working on these principles on Connect with Eleanor, so that once you are dealing with the physical aspect, God will be strengthening you in the spiritual aspect and you'll be able to have a holistic progress in your life. But the third difference between singleness and loneliness is a season where you focus on self. While when you're lonely, you focus on others. You tell yourself that, I want to connect with people, but I can't seem to connect with them. It's mostly about others and how you feel that void inside of you. You feel that you have that yearning to connect with someone, but you cannot just find anybody around you that you can connect with. You might be in a relationship, you might be married, and yet you find it difficult to really connect with your partner. That is because you're not supposed to connect with him on that level. Only God holds that place in your heart. Only Him understands who you are, the depth of your identity. Give you us the practical steps to overcome this loneliness. Try God's presence. Try to, be alone in the presence of God. Read His word. Soak in that, that worship atmosphere. This is very important. The second thing I would say is that build community. Associate with people, even if you're shy. Even the most introverted person in this world has a friend. Associate with people. Care about them. Practice self-care. Work on yourself. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Prioritize exercise, mindfulness. Go on mini adventures. Take yourself out. Have fun. Follow your purpose. Work on your passion. What are the things you love? Try to gravitate towards those things. And another thing is that if you feel like this thing is too overwhelming, it's something that you do not know the depth, you can contact Eleanor, you can talk to someone, talk to a professional therapist, try to express yourself by journaling. You focus on self-development, you focus on self-care. Those section of Connect with Eleanor, I would like to share a brief story of how I overcame my own loneliness. Now, there was a point in my life where I was engrossed in, helping people. A lot of people come to me for spiritual consultation. Okay, they are having issues. They don't know exactly where the problem is. I pray for people. I intercede for them. Even before I started Connect with Eleanor, I do that a lot. And I noticed that as much as I give to others, I was expecting them to give me that same energy back. I have impacted their lives, through my purpose and how far God has brought me. I felt like nobody truly understood how I felt, what I needed. I felt like, why would I keep giving and keep giving without getting anything in return? I'm sure there is someone out there that you keep helping people, supporting people, you're always there for others. But when it comes to your own turn, you feel like, okay, people do not see you, people do not care about you, they are not giving you that same energy. It happens to everybody. If you ask celebrities, if you ask so many people, if you ask pastors, people that are truly making an impact in humanity, they will tell you that they feel this loneliness, like I keep giving and giving, overwhelming. So at that point in my life, I was making so much impact, but yet I felt lonely. I felt like there was nobody that was really there for me, even though I had so many people around me. I had to go back to my secret place. I had to go back to God's presence. Because as a Christian, that is my wiring. The first place I go to every time I have issues is not going to people first. I first go to God, then I try to seek help. I try to seek support from others. So I went back to God's presence and I prayed, I worshipped, I poured out my heart to Him. I told Him how I was feeling this loneliness, I was feeling this void, despite making so much impact. And I thank God that coming out of His presence, I just felt this peace in my heart. I just felt like this loneliness was gone. I just felt like I was satisfied. Even if no matter how much you impact your world, not everybody will appreciate you. But you know that fulfillment, that happiness that you are actually helping someone, you're making an impact in someone's life, you're fulfilling purpose. There is a joy, there is a fulfillment that comes within you. That is why I advise, if you have not found the reason why you're on this earth, if you have not found your purpose, please, your season of singleness is the time for you to find it. Because true fulfillment does not come from success, does not come from finances. It comes from you fulfilling your purpose and being a source of joy and inspiration to the people around you. Sharing my experience, I hope you understand that every single person that is making an impact in their world also feels lonely. It's something that everybody experiences. Even people that are extroverts, that move around, that associate with people, they also feel lonely. So you yourself have to develop your own method, your own strategy of overcoming it. Ingredient for overcoming loneliness, I said God's presence, build community and connection with people, follow your purpose and your passion, impact your world. Whether people appreciate you or not, there is a certain joy that comes from fulfilling your purpose. So your period of singleness is a season where you can discover so many things about yourself. You can work on yourself, develop yourself before you get married. Believe me, all these things that you're doing before you get married, they are the things that will be foundation for you when you get married. You will not really, as much as there is no marriage that is perfect, but when two people that are emotionally intelligent, that have worked on themselves, come together, there is this level of ease, there is communication. So this season of singleness is a season where you need to work on yourself, read books, get materials, improve your emotional intelligence, your communication skills, learn how to be empathic towards others. If you have an area of weakness, work on it. Serve God. If you're someone that you're a worker in church, if you're not a worker in church, in every field that you are in, either the finance world, the banking world, the academic world, the health section, try and help humanity solve problems, be there for people. Those are the things that will give you that joy and fulfillment. I hope I've been able to let you understand that singleness and loneliness are two different things, and the fact that you are lonely doesn't mean you should enter a relationship or you should get married. Solve that issue, get to the root of the problem of the loneliness before you enter a relationship or before you get married. Relationship status is not what is causing the loneliness. There is something underlying, there is something in the foundation that is causing the issue. So thank you so much for watching today's episode of Connect with Eleanor. I hope I've been able to connect with you on another level. I hope I've been able to inspire you. And in case you have any opinion, ideas, things you need to share to inspire others, kindly go to the comment section and do so. I love you guys so much. But before I go, remember, singleness is a choice, and when you do get married, I know that your marriage is going to be a wonderful one because you truly maximize your season of singleness. I love you guys so much. I care about you. Thank you so much for your support towards Connect with Eleanor. Bye.